Hello and welcome, this is Braemar and welcome to Wolfpack Gaming. Today we're just going to be opening up a little box of Game Night Free-for-All. This is kind of interesting. It's just a play decks, like 5 play decks for you and your friends to kind of like get started into Magic. I bought this because there's an elf in here that I really want. Nice. There goes the little studio camera set up, very secure. I bought this because there's an elf in here that's like absolutely fantastic that I want for a deck. I'm actually going to be showing the deck off. This is really nice cardstock. Oh man, that's really nice stuff. I'm actually going to set that like this. Yeah, so I can fall over. This. Cool. Oh man, this is so nice. This is like luxury packaging. What's going on here? Oh, it comes with spin down dice too. I didn't even think about that. Elvershark Druid, how to play. Oh, this is awesome. Little punch box. That's yeah. Ooh. Okay. Is this no? It's so satisfying. They don't actually always go in where you want them to, but that is very satisfying. That's cool. So I guess you can keep this. Although I've heard the issue is you cannot sleeve things and put them back in. You can sleeve them, put them up like this, and like leave the box open. Is what I've kind of heard people doing. But that's about it. That's all you can do with the box. Cool box though. Definitely can feel the like luxury with that. We're gonna start with Dark Sacrifice. I'm gonna kind of treat these like jumpstart packs. I haven't actually looked at them. Oh man, this is how to get it? Where's the pull tab? Alright, get this little plastic out of here. Dark Sacrifice. Alright, we get Human Soldiers. Angel Tokens. Oh, that's it right there. The Necropolis Tyrants. Zombie Giants. 4/4 with Menace. Whenever another creature dies during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. When he dies, draw a card for each 1/1 counter on it. So obviously you're just going to be pumping this guy up. You're just going to be making a ton of zombies. And you're just going to be like swinging face. Very cool card. Very cool card. Next is Demon of Loathing. It's a 7/7 trampled demon. This is not really the best card. It's just a big old fat demon. What are you supposed to be doing with this? Complexity. Okay. Spells, big creatures, low speed. It kind of sounds like black. This is cool. I love Gravewalker. This is just like a jumpstart pack because this was in a jumpstart pack. This will reanimate your stuff. You need a lot of mana to make this happen. Create a 5/5 black demon. Oh, Priest of the Blood Rift's not bad. Oh, Village Broker of Blood. Dude, these things are huge. How are you playing? Demon's Embrace? Alright. Village is really good. He's an 8/8 flying. These are big beefy boys. These will beat down some dragons for sure. Whenever you lose life, draw that many cards. Pay 2 life. Target creature gets -X or -1 till the end of turn. So you can pump a couple in there. Give it -X pretty much. Demonic Embrace, good card. You can play it from your graveyard by paying 3 and discarding a card. It gives creatures +3/+1 and they're flying and demon. It's kind of like Angelic Embrace, but opposite. Liliana's Mastery. Oh, these are good little decks. Okay, now we're getting into the chaff. Zombies you control get +1/+1, and when she enters the battlefield, create 2/2 zombies. So good. Bush Meat Poacher, which is sack another creature. It's a sack outlet. It's a cheap sack outlet. This just creates zombies when it dies. Both of these do. Whenever he enters the battlefield, draw a card, lose a life. These are perfect. Fleshback Marauder. Each player sacks a creature. Yo. Whenever another creature is controlled dies, put a 1/1 counter on this thing. Make it bigger. That kind of sucks. This has Death Touch Lifelink. Oh, they should have more of these in here. But they're not zombies. So that doesn't make sense. This says other zombies you control get +1/+1. Yeah, some of these are vampires, which is not really cool in a zombie themed deck. Especially with pump effects. You kind of want these all just to be zombies. This, when he dies, create 2 zombies. Manful Twins. So, cool. I guess you'll be swinging a lot with this stuff. You'll be losing a lot of stuff in combat. Ravenous Chupacabra and Fleshbag Marauder. There should be more of those in here Reassembling skeletons, same with those. Attacks or blocks, each player draws. That's a trash card. Is that just for this set? Does that exist in another pack? Oh man, Doomblade. Let's go. Moan of the Unhallowed. Alright. Doomblade just destroys target non-black creature. This artifact, Bloodsoak Altar. Pay a life, discard a card, create a 5/5 demon. These are okay. This creates 2 zombie creatures and you can flash it back. Sign in Blood just lets you draw cards. Pay 2 life, draw 2 cards. It's a spell. These things are okay. Supernatural Stamina, alright. Village Rites, okay. You gotta sack a creature though, draw 2 cards. I mean, if you're trying to do that, you want your creatures to die what it looks like in combat. I guess you could just sack them on your turn, make this guy big, and then swing with them. Trainer goes +2/+2, Menace. Can't... Oh, so it goads a creature. That's nice. Wow, these are really slidey. I really wish these wouldn't slide. Look at that. Right off the table. Thank you. And then a bunch of lands. Cool. These lands are kind of... Oh, that's really cool. Swamp. Okay. Oh, these are like dino bones. Alright. Yo, these dinosaur graveyard ones might actually be good. That's a really cool deck. I like that. This is so worth 50 bucks. Even if you were just going to crack it just for these dudes. Even if you were just going to crack it for this guy right here. This is a decent deck. That's fun. Political Trickery. Alright, low on speed. Yeah, you need to be. High in complexity. Now we've learned these are on the side. So these decks look like they play really, really, really slow, which is going to make this red deck scary as all get out. Because I know it's going to play fast. Political Trickery. This is with elves and demons? Hello? I am very confused. Maybe the tokens that you're getting out of here don't exactly line up with the deck. Maybe they're just kind of like tokens for the overall stack. That makes sense. Maybe Insidious Singer is a blue legendary creature siren for 2 and 2 blue. She's a 3/4, and then she can go to target creature for 3. And then she also has, whenever that creature attacks one of your opponents this turn, draw a card. That's fantastic. So on people's turn, you just goad their creatures and then you draw cards. So you wait, see if someone's going to attack you with something, goad it. Like if something's got something threatening on the field, you're like, oh, I'm just going to goad that. And then, boom, you draw cards off it. That's not too bad. I mean, I'd take that. Alright, Angler Turtle. Creature's opponent attack each combat if able. That's not good. They're just going to attack you for a 5/7 turtle. Diluvian Primordial. This is from Gatecrash. I remember this card. He's a 5/5 flyer. When he enters the battlefield for each opponent, you can cast up to 1 instant or sorcery from that opponent's graveyard without paying its mana cost this turn. If you cast that spell, you exile it instead. This is pretty cool at the end of the game. You just kind of like drop this down. These are actually really good cards. Plead for Power. Will of Council. Starting with you, each player votes for time or knowledge. If time gets more votes, take an extra turn after this one. If knowledge gets more votes, the vote is tied, draw 3 cards. So this is pretty much Ancestral Recall or a take an extra turn spell, which is very, very, very strong. I'm surprised this is in here. Precognitive Perception, draw 3 cards, again really strong. I guess it's really high on the mana cost, so you really are not playing these spells pretty quick. In normal decks, like if you play like a Tatiova or whatever that is, green blue deck, you ramp up with some green and then you drop these like extra turn spells and they're like disgusting. So the mana cost really isn't that hard, but in this deck it seems like it's probably gonna be pretty hard. Precognitive Perception, draw 3 cards. If you've actually cast a spell during your main phase, instead you can scry 3. So it's a little addendum thing. If you've got 5 mana that you've left open from last turn. Same thing with this. Big draw spell. Draw X cards, then discard a card. Yeah, pay X. Angler Drake. Flying. 4/4. When enters the battlefield, return a target creature to its owner's hand. Really bad. Oh no. This Cutthroat's super good. This is a great inclusion. I would love all 3 of these in this deck. That's a great... You would never play this Angler Drake. This 2/1 with Flash, whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. This is a great card. Fog Bank, oh my god, this is one of the best defenders in the game. 0/2 defender with flying, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by Fogbank. This is amazing. These are really good inclusions. Initially, I thought this deck was really dumb. When I first saw these, I was like, okay, we're getting a little weird, but these are, oh my god, these are really good. These are really, really, really good inclusions. Fogbank is disgusting. Illusionary Ambusher is a 4/1 Cat Illusionist. Whenever she's dealt damage, draw that many cards. Not really that great of a creature. Jeering Homunculus, whenever it's battlefield, go to creature. This one's alright. Murmuring Mystic. Ooh, seeing 3 of these is really good. These are great cards. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, put a 1/1 blue flying in the battlefield. I would like to just see another Murmuring and another Brine and another Fogbank, and you can keep these other garbage. I would have built this deck a little differently. I know people that are probably buying these or are playing with their friends. They can easily just go pick these up and make these into like 60 card decks that play consistently. Real easy. You just take what you don't want out of here. Like, I don't want to play any of these Howling Golems, and I'll just put like 4 counterspells in or something or stupid like that. Fact or Fiction is really good. Reveal top 5 cards of your library. Opponent separates 2 of those cards, or separates those cards into 2 piles. Put one of those piles in your hand and the other one in your graveyard. If you're playing a graveyard deck, this pretty much just draws you 5 cards for 4 mana, and it's pretty good. Impulse. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them in your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Again, if you're playing like a graveyard deck, these are fantastic. And it may not be too good in this deck. Like, I think you just want better draw spells like Ponder or Consider. I wonder if Consider is actually in here, because you would just want to run Consider because you're not really playing from the graveyard unless you mix these 2 decks. Oh no, if you were just grabbing like 2 of these decks, you could play these better like Jumpstart. All right, Repulse. Bounce a creature, draw a card. Not bad. Just cost 3. Run away together. Bounce 2 things, which is also pretty good. Split Decisions in here. Not bad. Will of the Council. Choose target, instant or sorcery. Starting with you, each player votes Denial or Duplication. If Denial gets more votes, this counter spell. If Duplication gets new votes, then you get to copy it. This is really good when you have people that you're friends with that you just want to counter easy stuff for like 2 mana. That's pretty much what it's used for. Copying, no one will ever choose copy. If you go to copy something big, everyone's just going to choose Denial. So don't. It's just a really cheap political counterspell. That's literally it. Supreme Will, counter spell, which is not bad. I would just do something like a Mana Leak or something like that instead. Or look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one in your hand, less than bottom of your library. You don't want to be playing that in this deck. This is really cool. Create 2/2/2 Flying Drakes. This just gets you some bodies. Not really a great card, but they keep including in these blue, like Jumpstarty decks. It gets you bodies, which is great. And it's a spell that triggers, you know, your other stuff. It's not bad. Vow of Flight. This is another goad thing, but it just doesn't have goad on it. It gets +2/+2. It should just say goad, flying and goad. That's really nice. I would love like an enemy to slap this on Rafik and then just destroy it later. Bloodthirsty Blade, another goad thing. Alright, so I see their goad mechanic works very well in this deck. I like it. It goes with this thing. I'm not too big on the goady stuff, but it's alright. These islands are gorgeous. Oh. What? Oh my god. If you're looking for basic lands, like if you're just starting to play the game and you were like, oh, look at these lands, they're so nice. You do not get basic lands like this all the time. These are gorgeous. This is actually going on a lot further. There's a lot more in these than I thought there was initially going to be. I kind of thought they were just going to be a little like dumb play starter decks that they normally do. But they have actually gone above and beyond. Yeah, I think these tokens are just going to be Boundless Elves. Really fast, a lot of creatures, a lot of spells, a lot of complexity. Or no complexity whatsoever. Play big dumb elves. That's all you do. This thing, Imriel Elfheim Elite. This is the reason why I bought 2 of these boxes. These things are pretty much like a giant crater hoof. Sort of effect. It's on the higher end of the like you get to knock people out, but it's an actual elf. So instead of having like, you know, a boar or a hoof creature in your deck, you can actually just play this elf now, and whenever it attacks, gets +X/+X till the end of turn, where X is the number of elves you control. You can also have her assign her combat damage although it were not blocked. So I have 2 Elf Ball decks. One's a green-white, one's a green-black, so that's why I bought 2 of these boxes. This is going in both those decks, pretty much because you can turn, swing at one opponent, and then use your army, swing at another opponent, and pretty much knock out 2 people. This thing is gross. This will end games in Commander. I think this is one of those like ultimate cards that they've printed for one of these like stupid products that everyone needs. So I actually don't think this is a bad purchase. If you're looking to buy any of these cards, I would just get this big boy until it leaves print, because these cards are absolutely fantastic. I did not feel like I feel like I didn't know. Oh, speaking of Boar, I didn't know going into this how good some of these cards were going to be. These are great inclusions. These are great decks. Beast Whisperer, fantastic. Whenever you cast a creature, draw a card. Derp. Elvish Archdruid, other elves you control get +1/+1. Add for a mana, green mana for each elf you control. Whenever you tap it, you're going to want elves. You're going to want this thing. The rest of these kind of seem like elves, but then it's dumb to get creatures like, you know, Enraze, Forerunners, the Boar. It's a 7/7 Vigilance, Trample, Haste. Whenever he enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +2/+2, gain Vigilance and Trample until the end of turn. So this is one of those big drop it and win the games once you have a bunch of elves out sort of spells. But that's why I like this, because it has that elf flavor. You don't really need to play something like this. These are really good cards. Immaculate Magistrate is like a 50-cent card. Tap and put a 1/1 counter on each elf you control. This is a dumb good card. I can't believe it's so cheap. They've been reprinting the car out of it, but it's a good elf. These are all really good elves. Thorn Lieutenant is okay. It's a 2/3 for 2. Whenever it becomes a target of spell or ability, create a elf, a 1/1 elf. That's it. Tap 6, and this thing gets +4/+4 to the turn. This it is okay. These are awesome. Twins Elite. So when it enters the battlefield, you create a 1/1 green elf. So for 2, you get 3 power, and you get 2 bodies. I absolutely love these cards. This is what makes this and this gross. You cast these things and you're just like, these things are alright. Elvish Rejuvenator is also okay. Look at the top 5. You can put a land into the battlefield and put the rest on the bottom. These are great. These are great if you're first starting out, but they're way too high costed for like a 1/1. Elvish Sky Sweeper is a card I used to actually play. This is hilarious. Tap 5, sack it, destroy target creature with flying. I love this. I love elves that have like other abilities. This is just a 1/1 body that can just destroy a dragon. It's okay. Elvish Visionary is okay, but there's a better one. There's one that costs 1 more where you can also tap it like a Land of War. I forget what that's called. It may be in here. Ooh, there's some good cards in here. But still, you play an elf, you draw a card. You know, it's a decent thing. Jorgo Visionary, when enters battlefield, draws you a card. It's just this thing, but with a bigger body, which is kind of weird to see. Land of War Elves, these are awesome includes. Everyone should have Land of War Elves, especially if you're first starting the game. Land of War Tribe, just a big Land of War Elf. Sylvan Messenger is a 2/2 trample for 4 mana. Enters battlefield, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all elf cards into your hand, and the rest in the bottom of your library. This is a bigger effect. I like this effect more than I like the other effect. Taunting Elf. This is fantastic. All elves, all creatures able to block this thing, do so. So this is it's a 0/1, but this is a prized unicorn sort of effect, where you just kind of like, everybody has to block this thing, and I absolutely love it. Thornwield Archer, which is reach and death touch. You need this. You need 4 of these, especially if you're playing dragons. Hello. This really dumb golem, which you've seen now. Broken Wings. Why do they do this? It's okay. It's a good spell, but I don't really like it. Elven Ambush is a really good spell. Create a 1/1 for each elf you control. Yeah. Yes, please. Can I have 3 of those? 4 of those? Invigorate. It's also not bad. If you control a forest, you can just pay 3 life, I think. Rather than pay this mana spell, you can just have an opponent gain 3 life. I apologize. So you give somebody 3 life and create a 4/4. And you smack them. These ones are okay. Overrun, you want to see this in this deck because that's what this deck wants. Rabid Bite, which is just pretty much this creature deals damage to something, so you could just take your giant elf and just chomp something. Same thing with Ram Through. These are all really good. You really want to see more regrowths because you want to be picking stuff up from the graveyard after you use it. Vow of Wilderness. of Wildness. So this is another one of those goad things. I guess each deck is going to have a goad, so you can just goad their commander and kill other people. +3/+3, gains trample. That's really good. Wirewood Pride. This is another older card. Target creatures +X/+X in turn, with X is the number of elves in the battlefield. That's actually a really good include. Both those are decent. These forests are not bad. The forests are not as impressive. Well, that's actually a really pretty forest. I take that back. That was really good. These are okay. I'm liking these. I'm liking these a lot. I'm liking these a lot more than I thought I was gonna like them. I honestly thought a lot of these cards were gonna just be throwaway cards or bulk, and now I'm seeing that I might actually include a couple of these cards in some decks. Some of these cards I already have in decks. To be honest with you, I didn't feel like I knew they were gonna be in here. I probably should have looked at a deck list before opening this thing. But this is really cool. The Nogi Draco Zealot is a Kobold Shaman, legendary creature. Everyone's going nuts over this card. This card and this card are like the two most sought after cards. Dragon spells cost 1 less to cast. What? For 3/3 for 3. And then whenever he attacks, if you control 3 or more dragons, this guy becomes a 5/5 dragon that flies. Everyone likes this card. It's cool. You get to cast your dragons faster. It's very fun. It makes big derpy dumb dragons like all of these. Oh my god. Actually playable. There was one that really, oh my god, I should have it right here. Gidia, Fawn of Hope, just recently came out for Angels that kind of did the same thing. It's a low to the ground commander that lets you cast, you know, your big angels or your big dragons now for cheap. I love seeing these things just because they're now fun. Ancient Hellkite, big derp, 6/6 flying for 6, pump red. He can deal 1 damage only if he's attacking. This thing also, when it attacks, it just throws damage, throws 4 and then 3 twice. It's a 7/7. It's just a big boy. Flame Blast Dragon, which is a good card. It's a 5/5 flyer for 6, but when it attacks, pay X and then pretty much fireball something. You can deal or flame blast something. It's really, really, really fun. You just want this to stick around more than 1 turn, and then each turn you just dump mana into it and just blow something up. Nullspine Dragon is a 7/5 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you may discard your hand and draw cards equal to the damage dealt to target opponent this turn. Really versatile card. This is probably one of the better cards. Flame Blast and Nullspine. Shivan Dragon, not really great. You know what it does. It's a 5/5 flying for 6. Tap 1. Ooh, Crucible of Fire. Dragons get +3/+3. Hello? That makes dumb things like Dragon's Egg even like a 3/5 defender now. Like, that's really good. I hate Dragon's Egg, Dragon's Hatchling. Dragon Mage's alright. You get 3 Dragon Speakers in this deck? What? Dragons cost 2 less to cast? That is insane. Flametongue Kavu, garbage. Furnace Whelp, garbage. This, oh my god, I would just edit this deck a little bit. This would be amazing. The Motivator is pretty decent. Goblin Motivator, tap and give something haste. You can just include a haste enabler, and just, you know, this deck could be gross so fast. The Dragon Rider is a 2/2. If you have a dragon and you're attacking, it gains flying. They had to make this deck so weak because this is so good. Rapish Dragon, what is this? Complexity low, spells low, creatures high. Whenever it enters battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens. That's not bad. A Braid. Braid's really good. You either choose one. Deal 3 damage to a creature or destroy target artifacts. People love this in Commander. It's a great card. Blaze. It's pretty much that Flame Blast Dragon effect, but on a card. Dragon Tempest! No, this is such a good card. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, Drain Blast. Dragon Tempest. Dragon Tempest is a really good card. Whenever a creature flying enters battlefield control, it gains haste. So when I was just saying you just need haste enablers, Dragon Tempest is that haste enabler. And actually, whenever a dragon enters battlefield under control, you basically throw its damage to any target. You need like 4 of these in this deck. This is really good. Lightning Bolt's a great include. Oh, 3 damage to anything. Mana Geyser, for each tapped land your opponents control, and if you're playing against 5 people, Mana Geyser is going to get you a lot of mana. Seize the Spoils, really good. Discard a card, draw 2 cards. And then Vow of Lightning. 2/2 first strike. This is probably one of the best ones. I didn't know these were in here. Basic Mountains look pretty good. Oh, okay, these ones are really nice at the end. The basic lands have been decent. This deck just needs a little bit of editing, and you can make this thing so scary. So scary. I'm sorry, that is beautiful. Alright, Glorious Combats. No! The red deck already gave us Glorious Combat. The green deck's built for combat too. This thing goads everything, and this is made for combat. Oh man. This is just a swing. This is just turn sideways and play. Alright, the camera didn't like the white deck at the end. I decided to cut out, so we're going to go back and flick through it again. Glorious Combat is really good with speed and creatures. So it doesn't have a whole lot of spells or complexity, which I would argue on these complexities. Because all you need to do is equip a couple of better equipments, and the complexity of this goes up like crazy. But let's look at it. It is Zamriel, Seraph of Steel. She's a 3/4 flyer for 2 colors, 2 white. She, as long as it's your turn, equip creatures you control have indestructible. So this is really nice. You're going to be playing a lot of equipment, a lot of creatures, equipping them, and then swinging into these giant decks. One of the first things you want to look at is Captain of the Watch. It is a 3/3 with Vigilance for 6 mana. Other soldiers you control get +1/+1 and have Vigilance. When she enters the battlefield, you're going to create 3 1/1 soldiers. Now they're going to be 2/2s with Vigilance. This is awesome. You want to pick up a couple of these and slap it in this deck, because you're going to need stuff to equip stuff to, and you're just going to really want the bodies to help fight against that stuff. Heavenly Blade Master is a really cool angel in this deck. It's a 3/6 flying double strike. Whenever she enters the battlefield, attach and equip any number of auras or equipments to her, and then she gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to her. So if you have like goat effects on Zamriel already, like if somebody was like, oh, I don't want to deal with that thing, I'm just going to goat it, you can attach it to this thing now. And then this thing will get buffed because of it. You play giant equipments like Argentium Armor, which gives +6/+6 for 6 mana. Its equip is for 6, but you can cheat that a little bit with some of the stuff in here. You're really going to want like to add like a Cigar's 8 or 2 to this deck, and it would just be broken. But whenever equipped creature attacks, annihilate something. Just pick something, destroy it. Target permanent, doesn't matter, land, just pretty much annihilator. Moon Silver Spear. So this is an Avacyn Restored card, or whatever it is, Avacyn something. Equipped creature has first strike whenever she attacks. It gets it gets a 4/4 angel with flying into the battlefield tapped. No. Is it coming tapped and attacking? No, you just create a 4/4 white angel. Oh man, they should have come into play tapped and attacking. This, I guess, going to be confusing to some people because, yeah, oh well. Sword of Vengeance. This is not that great, but it gives all your creatures the good keywords: first strike, vigilance, trample, and haste. +2/+0 for 3. Banisher Priest. I really like the ones that also give you Monarch. I forget what it is. I think it's Palace Jailer. These are really cool. It's an O-ring on a creature. It's a 2/2 for 3. It's actually not bad. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature until this leaves the battlefield. It's actually not bad. Danitha, Caption Paragon, is very good in this deck. First strike, vigilance, lifelink, 2/2 for 3. Auras and equipments you cost 1 less to cast. Very good in this deck. Pick up 1 or 2 of those to add it into this, and take out dumb things like, I don't know, Sword of Vengeance is okay. Take out things like Foreboding Spirit. Until the end of your next turn, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless they pay 2 for each of those creatures. There's a card called Ghostly Prison that does the same thing. This 3/3 body is not worth it. Nightsail Apprentice is actually pretty decent. Whenever it's equipped, it gets +1/+1 and has flying. This is going to let you punch through some damage, especially if you have that spear or something like that. But even better is they've included 2 Core Duelists. You're going to want to go pick up 2 more. As long as they're equipped, they get double strike. So now all of a sudden something holding like, I don't know, a Colossal Hammer is now a 20 damage, because it's now an 11/11 with double strike, so 22 damage. Absolutely gross. I cannot believe they included that. Core Outfitter, also a Zendikar. When it enters the battlefield, attach a target equipment you control to target creature you control. So all these big things you just are now slapping for free onto these creatures. This deck is really good. It also comes with Sword and Path. You're going to want to pick up a couple of these to remove some of these targets. Ancestral Blade. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 soldier and attach this to it. It gets +1/+1. Again, these are cool because if you have things like that Night Out, they're going to get buffed again. Vow of Duty is one of those goad things. It gives Vigilance +2/+2. It's a cool little include. I'm glad they did that for each of these decks. Trusted Machete is one of the better equipments in this deck. It gives equipped creature +2/+1 for 1 mana and 2 to equip. Very good. Also from Zendikar. Ring of Thune. I think it would have been cool for them to include all the rings for these, but equipped creature gets Vigilance. It's equipped for 1, costs 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it's a white creature, give this +1/+1. Give the creature a +1/+1 counter. I actually like this. Give these to your commanders, and then they just get bigger each turn. Colossal Hammer. It's just so gross they included this. They should have done a couple of these. Equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying, so you're going to want to give it to your smaller boys that are already on the ground. Great Sword is garbage. It's 3. Equip is 3, and then it gives +3/+0. Not good. Valorant Stance. I also don't know why they included this. Creature gets either indestructible, or you can destroy a creature with toughness 4 or greater. You just want Path or Sword of Plowshares. Strength of Arms creates a 1/1, gives somebody a +2/+2. You only get that 1/1 if it has an if you have a creature. If you control an equipment, sorry, you get a 1/1 creature. This is okay. Pilgrim of the Ages is alright. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic Plains card, reveal it, put it in your hand. You're going to want to play Knight of the White Orchid or something else a little bit better. These things just take out. Serra Angel, 4/4 big flyer. These are going to be nice because you're going to have to fight dragons and stuff like that. This will give you some cool evasion because most of this stuff doesn't have flyer evasion except for this has the reach with Death Touch. These things are just going to control the skies. These are very fun decks. Oh, these planes are very basic looking. The other ones, like the islands, that's a clue stone. The other islands were very, very, very cool. So all in all, these decks are absolutely fantastic. I think they kind of stick to their little things here. If you follow this and then you just do some upgrades. If you want to play with your friends, this is an amazing start deck. And it comes with dice. So you don't have to go and pay like $1 per dice. This is totally worth what it's cost. I think right now on TCG Player it's like $49.99. Very, very, very cheap. Very, very, very fun. Open it. If you're new to the game, play with your friends. Even if you're old to the game, some of these cards are absolute powerhouses. But thank you for watching. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. Have a great day.